Welcome and thank you for joining us. We're here because this month is Financial Information Month, and as the founder of Your Extra Hands, we feel that financial information is essential for personal lives, for your personal life, and also for you as an entrepreneur. We believe that from a personal finance, where we are at now, it affects what we do when we're a business, and that obviously would affect our economy. So that's why we take this very seriously. We have this video session as part of a series of videos to get you educated on some things that we think will be very helpful to you in your personal life and also in your business. You can see who is here with me, but she'll introduce herself. Many people know her, but some don't. So I'll let her introduce herself. Go ahead.
Good night, Gillian. Good night, viewers. Thank you, Gillian. It's a pleasure to be here this evening, and I'm happy to celebrate Financial Information Month with Your Extra Hands. Finance Focus is an advocate for financial information. We do that every day. My name is Luana Lura, and I'm the founder of Finance Focus Consultancy, most popularly known for the YouTube series Financial Fridays, where you can find financial information at the tip of your fingers. I founded Finance Focus out of need. I felt that we as young people, I'm a young person, and I felt that it is imperative that we understand how to manage our finances, because that actually translates into how we run our businesses, how we raise our families, how we deal with friends and family. And having financial management skills is important. We're going to deal with money till the day we die. We're going to be making financial decisions till the day we die. So it's important to know where we're going wrong and how we can fix it. And the only way we can do that is by educating ourselves.
You're so correct. And at Your Extra Hands, we believe that the business ideas that entrepreneurs have is not only to open a business or to make money and be free like some people feel that it is. That's something that attracts them to opening businesses. But we think further. We would like to help young entrepreneurs to secure their financial future through their business ideas. So
yes,
it's a pleasure to hear you say the things that you said, because those are the things that drive us at Your Extra Hands to support as we work to support the entrepreneurs that we work with. Those are the things that drive us. Starting a business, building a brand, because you have a legacy that you want to leave at the end of the day. And financial responsibility is an integral part in actually seeing that dream come to fruition.
Good, yes.
So we have you here with us on this session, one of a few video sessions that we'll be sharing. And tonight we'll be discussing personal finance and also business finance, as to the responsibility that we have personally to deal with our finances, and also as entrepreneurs, the responsibility that we have to deal with our finances responsibly. So we are looking forward to some great tips from you. And I'm looking forward to learn for myself, because I know for sure I want to have everything well laid out financially for me.
Well, one of the areas that you discussed with me is on the issue of being overcommitted. Right. And we see that happening every day in our lives, from the age of 20 to the age of 65. we all take debt, right?
Hmm.
And what does it mean when we are overcommitted? It's essentially doing more than we are capable of, especially when it comes to repaying loans that we can't afford. Now, you can become overcommitted for a number of reasons. Whether you've lost your job, you've become ill, or you've had an accident that prevents you from working, or you've lost your main provider in your household. In a case like that, you would realize that you no longer have an income. So what can you do? You should change your spending priorities. And that's an area that many times we don't put a lot of thought, because our personal circumstances tend to affect our livelihoods. You could lose your income that
True.
would allow you to resort to debt, especially if you don't have insurance. So you would focus on reviewing your budget. Now, on the other hand, which is more common, we may be overcommitted just because of the fact that we spend money on things without prioritizing them. And we find that happening more often than we feel. We may have this mental state of doing it all because we want to live and look a certain way.
True.
And these things cost money. And most times, because of our limited income, we resort to debt. Now, on top of all that, wanting to live our best life and keeping up with the Joneses, we might have our other long-term commitments like our vehicle loans, student loans, and our mortgages. So what is it that we can do in a case like that? We can ask ourselves, first off, how did I get here? You know,
Yeah.
Is it because I want to keep up with people? Am I overcompensating for something? Am I chasing my life goals faster than my finances can provide? Now, when you look at your bank account and you look at your goals, are they in alignment? Where is most of your cash going? And in order to find out where that is, we need to budget. And I find we don't put enough value into a good budget. Do you budget?
Well, I have had many conversations relating to budgeting, and I've actually stopped using the word budget because people just flee.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
People just flee when they hear the word budget. But for me, I mean, I say, I like Dave Ramsey, that popular financial coach says, tell your money where to go.
Of
so
course.
I don't, because essentially that's what a budget is to tell your money where you want it to go.
Have a plan for it.
Right. So that is where the budget comes in. But I hate to use the word no, because it's like it's a turn off.
It intimidates people because
on one hand, you're just choking them.
Yes, because on one hand you're telling them what to do with their money. They're like, who are you to tell me what to do with my money now?
The other thing is, a lot of people are already so far committed that they feel that, I'm going to budget in the negative. I'm going to budget in the negative, but it's an essential thing to do. And it is something that I do. I do budget and tell my money that I do not have enough of what to do.
No, if there are some people that they may find themselves overcommitted, that they would need to work out their budget and prioritize their commitments. So they would first start off by planning for their basic needs. We need to ensure that we can provide for ourselves for our basic necessities. And then they can see what else they can reduce in terms of their wants, You know, many times there are things that we think that are needs and they actually wants. So we need to stop paying for unnecessary items. And in order for us to do that, we have to be real with ourselves.
That's
We
true.
have to be real with ourselves. Now, after you've outlined all your priorities, you'll notice that you have this load of debt. You have this very limited income. How are you going to cross that mountain? Now, you can employ any one of the debt repayment methods, whether it's snowball, avalanche, or consolidation. And on my upcoming YouTube video for Financial Fridays next week, that's actually what I'm focusing on, because I'm continuing with the debt management series. I feel that it's an integral part and it's necessary, especially during Financial Information Month, that we don't be too intimidated by debt, that we plan a way to reduce debt, because we may be committed, we may be overcommitted, and we don't even know that we are, you know? So some ways that a person might identify if they're overcommitted. For example, if you realize that you have rent arrears, your landlord keeps calling you and you know you're owing him, and you know you cannot pay him. If you keep taking out all these payday loans to pay off the old loans, if you keep using credit cards for day-to-day transactions, you know, if you keep ignoring your calls from the banks, from your creditors, that these are signs that you may have overcommitted yourself. So what you can do is list them out, prioritize your debt. You know that you have to control your spending because you're looking for ways in that limited income that you have to start to pay off your debt. And talk to your creditors. Many times we feel that the best thing that we need to do is ignore those phone calls from the bank. It's not helping us. We need to communicate with our lenders and creditors and let them know that we're struggling. If we don't tell them, they don't know.
True.
So yes, it's true you may be overcommitted, but have a discussion with your lenders. See where they can assist you. What plan can they put you on? Do you need to refinance to free up some cash to pay off other debt? Now, you mentioned something earlier that based on our financial management practices in our personal life, it translates to our business. And that isn't true for fact, because as a small business owner, what you find is that it is very easy to become overcommitted and quickly. Why? Because one of the reasons that we tend to become overcommitted in our small businesses as entrepreneurs is because we neglect our bottom line. And I'll tell you why. If we don't review the performance of our business, we have no idea where the business is losing money.
You're correct.
Right?
Yes.
And one of those areas where we tend to lose money is by neglecting to know the cost of our production. Now, our cost of production is what actually helps us to determine our pricing. Right. And what I notice with small businesses is that what we do, we just put prices on things using guesswork. We just assume that's what people will pay for it, so that's it. But because we don't understand the cost, we may be underpricing or overpricing our products and services, losing business. And that is critical, because now when we're losing business, we tend to supplement our losses with debt and more debt and more debt to run our business.
Right. And you there working and you think you're making money, but you're not making money.
Yes.
And it comes back to the fact that you're not tracking what you're doing.
You're not reading,
you're not tracking, you're not keeping records. And that is something that I discuss with entrepreneurs very early on when I'm doing coaching with them. The two first things: business plan, bookkeeping. That's like the first two commandments to set up the business is business plan and bookkeeping. The two B's.
Yeah, because you know, some of us small businesses, we may be so overcommitted we don't know what to do, but there's a place to start. You can speak to an accountant to assist you in the record keeping, like you mentioned, and to assist you in your performance analysis. Understand your cost of production and your overhead levels. Analyze your cash flow, because a lot of
Very
times
important.
we think that, oh, well, my business is making profit, man. It's good, but your cash flow is negative. And is your cash flow running your operations?
I know.
No. When you look at these areas, you now have to sit back and break down each area on how they contribute to your bottom line and how you are overcommitting yourself. Now, once you have that plan, you lay out that plan in front of you, you go now and you communicate to your lenders. You call your creditors. You don't ignore their calls, because as small businesses now, we have statutory and debt obligations that we cannot ignore. So it's one thing to feel like, you know what, I'm not making money, the bank is calling me, you know, I'll check them next week. But all while you're thinking of another way to go and get more debt,
yes,
to go and pay the same bank that calling you.
Yes.
You have to look at the performance of your business.
It's a cycle that just goes around, and unfortunately, every rope has an end. Unfortunately, yes. Every rope has an end.
I believe poor money habits can be fixed. We just have to be determined and disciplined and committed to our financial goals, if that is something we want to overcome. You don't want to be in debt forever. Being in debt is hard, but also being financial discipline enough is hard. So which one you prefer?
It may be even harder. It is easier to just go ahead and because some people, debt is part of their lifestyle.
Yes, sir.
Because it allows them to have that lifestyle that they do not want to wait for.
Right. You see, it takes us back into just spending money just to spend money, and we see people spending money and we want to keep up. And I like people to always know that your financial position is your responsibility. And many times we think that somebody will be looking at us saying, but where she get that now? But they have their own story, you know. Yep. So while you're there trying to keep up with them because you see they have a 5-bedroom house and your salary cannot afford, not even free, but you want your salary to make it afford. you they're struggling. And the person have their own stress. Yep, so focus on yourself. Focus on yourself.
We don't see the back end of things, you know. We don't see the back end of people's struggles. And I always say that you see what somebody has, but you did not see what they had to do to get it.
Oh, what they're sacrificing.
Yeah,
what they don't know what they're sacrificing.
Yes, and it may be a lot of sacrifices, the things that you don't want to sacrifice now to get there. The person took their time to get there, but you want to get there overnight. That is another thing that happens as well.
And you say that too, but I want to make particular mention to the youth, the millennials. We have a lot more distractions now. We have a lot more things that makes us want to fit in and gain the attention of friends and family. Social media is draining our bank accounts because everything is in our face. We need to have it. I want to look like that. I need to have this. I need to be in the trend. And that we keep putting ourselves in debt just to attain that.
If you are not strong-minded, social media is not the place for you.
Yeah, listen. You have to. You can be as weak-minded as you are, but you always have to keep remembering what are your financial goals? What is it that you want to achieve? If you stick that on a wall, and every morning you wake up and you look at that goal and you say, I need to get this done. I need to struggle. I need to sacrifice to get that goal done. It's going to be motivating you. So when you scroll on Instagram and you see latest phone and you say, boy, I want that, but you look on the wall and the wall tells you you have to pay off that debt.
That's not in the works for you right now. And the other thing in terms of our goals is that we do not have the mindset for achieving goals generally, because it's not something that we are taught. And I mean, I am not crying down our culture and our background and our parents, but let's look at the entrepreneurship side of things. You were raised, you go to school, you learn, and then you go to work for somebody. And that is embedded in a lot of us. And that's the mindset that we have going through life.
Well, you see, we saw parents go for it, but we can overcome that, because right now, if you take a look around, we have our culture is shifting.
Yes.
You will find most of our young people, they want to be independent. They want to leave a legacy. And I want to applaud them for that, because even in the COVID-19 arena environment right now, there are a lot more entrepreneurs that have come on since.
Yep.
Everybody is trying something. So we are changing our mindset slowly. It's progress to become more wholesome individuals to provide for ourselves. And I have this this goal that I want to build a family. And I know when I build that family, I want to leave some wealth for them, because our grandparents didn't really leave for our parents, and our parents don't have so much to leave for us. So that is the barriers that I want us as youth, as those coming up, to have in mind as a financial goal, to leave wealth for your children. And how can you do that? You need to start by having good financial management practices. You have to start young, and the younger you start, the better it is for you, because by the time you're 45, you have that locked down.
Yes. And as I mentioned, that is where your extra hands comes in, because you find that a lot of millennials, like I am, a lot of millennials are turning to businesses to get that freedom and to get that source of income that they need to prepare for a financial future that is secure. But some of them do not have the business skills that go with having that business idea. And that is what drives us to be that extra hand. So you have two hands to focus on what brings in growth and those high return activities for your business. And your extra hands comes in to assist you with the business skills. And for me personally, it is a journey for me that entrepreneurship is going to allow me to send my two I have for now, 2 children to school, to university debt free. So
and that is one of the things that I see happening. That's a good goal.
That's my goal, and I want to take as many millennials with me as possible.
Well, we can change Dominica, together, because one of finance focus services, that if you feel that your business is not making money, I can sit with you. We can do a complete strategic planning session. What are your strengths, your opportunities, and I can put you on that path to have a successful business. And you and I share the same mandate. We want to see our small businesses succeed. We want to not just have an idea, but a sustainable idea that can actually grow and give you wealth and make you build a legacy.
Yes. And I say you need to, what I say is you need to stop trading a service or product for money. You need to build a brand. Yes, and that's one of the other shortcomings that I see, is that you see people springing up all over selling something, but it's just selling. Selling will take you so far. You need to build something that has greater value, that can outlive you. And that's a brand.
That's true. Yes, we are fortunate to be in a small market. I know a lot of people like to say, oh, Dominica, small businesses cannot survive. But what they don't realize is that because our market is so small, we actually have a testing ground where we can start, fail, succeed, fail again, to kind of streamline our product.
Yep.
Take it outside of Dominica.
Yes,
so
yes.
Perfect testing ground for any business idea, you know, because it has less risk. It has less risk in the market. If you fail, you can try again.
And the sooner you fail and you fail is the better, because that's how you tweak and you develop your product. But then they also do not see that there is an outside market to take your product at the end of the day too. And that's another limitation.
It's a mindset. Once you create a product, you don't have to think you're creating it for Dominica.
Right.
Think of exporting your product or service from the get-go, from the time you have an idea. How would that succeed in St. Lucia? How would that succeed in Barbados?
Right.
Yes, you're at home, yes, but send your mindset regional. Yes.
And you start here. You test it
streamline
regionally, then you test it here, then you test it regionally, and then you explode. You explode in the world, and there's enough people out there.
The fundamental thing is starting with your management skills, your financial management skills, your accounts, your record keeping skills.
Yes.
These are the things that will help you to grow into a successful business.
Yeah. So I think we've covered what we need to cover in this session. I think so. Anything you want to say as we end? Any final thought that you wanted to share on this topic?
Yes, of course. Be mindful of the number of debts that you have. Because one thing we don't realize is that as an individual, when you go to a bank and they see that you have 5-6 loans on your pay slip, they would, of course, request your credit report because they want to offer you a loan. They would request your credit report and they would see that you have 5-6 loans paying. They're going to wonder, what is wrong with your financial management skills? What is the level of financial fitness you have? So I understand that things may be tight and we need debt to supplement our income. But if we put our practices of budgeting, having an emergency fund, having insurance, things that will protect our wealth in place, then we would not have any need for a significant amount of debt, and more so high interest debt.
All right. And I will top that up by saying, get an additional source of income very early in the game. I think that's a very important step. I saw your steps, your 5 steps, but I think getting that additional income, it should come a little closer to number 1. and that's where entrepreneurship can come in. So I want to thank you for being here for this session, and we look forward to speaking to you on another topic that we will share in this series. So we'll just end this session right now. Thanks.
It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you.
Yes, thanks to our viewers for taking the time to view this discussion that we've had, and we at Your Extra Hands, we hope that you got a lot of actionable insights that you can implement immediately. So Gillian LaRocque saying, see you soon.